So this video is going to talk about the pros and cons of the 2.1 logic versus the 2.2 logic, and obviously we'll talk about the 2.1 first. We had a wide stop, as you are aware, and the reason for it is that, well, it's twofold, because we need to give the signal some breathing room, because the crowd will need to think about what they're positioning after, being stopped out or taking profit. Normally they should reverse, but there's the danger that they don't and they hold. So this is the reversal logic 2.1. Now the danger here is that we have wide stops, which is fine. It caters for this horrible nonsense that we can see in price action, but we don't want to see this. Okay, we don't want that. Admittedly, if we were long and the signal was long, fine, that's good. But if we were short, that's not fine. Likewise, we have like wide stops that cater for this horrible chop, and we don't want this. Admittedly, fine if we're short, but not fine for long. So, it caters for a lot of nonsense. It caters for a lot of stop loss clusters being probed, false breakouts, a lot of the theatrics that we see of price action. Most of the time, it's liquidity probes, and 100 pips should be sufficient to cater for that nonsense, basically, or that theatrics. However, we might be we're at the risk of being potentially wrong or right, but if we're wrong, then it's too dangerous, it's too risky. Okay, so there's the potential of a breakout. Okay if you're long, not okay if you're short. That's a breakout. Okay if you're short, but not okay if you're long. Right, now there's 4 outcomes to every trade. Ideal outcomes is a large win, a medium win, a small win, or a small loss. Now this here is a large loss. It can potentially give us large losses, so it's not in the 4 ideal scenarios. However, 2.2 is. Okay, so we can have this, we'll be stopped out, right? We'll be stopped out, so this would be horrible, admittedly, okay? But if we're right, the trading stop will kick in, and then we're out. Okay, but the thing is, we will only have small losses. Likewise, the trading stop will kick in, and we could potentially have a nice large win there, depending on the actual move. And of course, if it's a very sudden, very quick move, the trading stop will kick in, and we'll actually we'll net a lot of profits. Okay. Now the thing is, the 2.2. It's going to require a lot of tweaking, because every currency pair is different in its volatility, and the robot doesn't translate the volatility for individual pairs. Okay, so this will require a little bit of fine tuning, and this is why it's called 2.2, because we're testing the risk management part. We're going to keep to the reversal. We're going to keep that. Okay, it's the reversal logic. That they're not going to hold, they're going to get stopped out, and we're going to see reversals. We'll keep that, but we'll just look at the risk management part, and I think what will probably happen, we'll get stopped out, so we'll be like -20, stopped out, -20, and then maybe even stopped out again. But the thing is that if we get stopped out 3 times, it's still less than that horrible trade here. Okay, and it's unlikely it's going to happen 3 times, so we're still less than that 100 pip loss. Okay, and so I guess that's pretty much it. The only danger is that every currency pair is different in its volatility. For example, 20 pips for the pound New Zealand dollar, that's going to be that'll be stopped out quite quickly, so we may have to look at potentially removing some currency pairs, and we could just have major pairs. That might be something that we can do. That might be something, in fact, I'm just thinking out loud, that might be something that we will need to do, I think, because if we want tight stops, we can't really have like humongously volatile pairs like the Euro Kiwi or the Euro Aussie that really moves, although the Euro Aussie can be quite profitable. The Euro Aussie was a good one because we needed a wide stop for that, because we had the CPI out. We had a 75 pip stop, which meant we got stopped out, but what happened is it went like this, which is really cruel. So the 100 pip was fine in that situation, but we of course run the risk of it doing that. Ugh, that'd be horrible. And of course we run the risk of boom, and that would be horrible as well. So, you know, okay if we're long, but not okay for sure. Okay, and so that's a 2.2. And I think what we'll do, we'll just have to do major pairs only, I think. And we're not going to do any exotic or minor pairs, because we'll probably get stopped out quite a bit on your volatile pairs. So we'll just look at the Euro USD, the Pound USD, the Aussie, the Kiwi, Dollar CAD, Dollar Swiss, and probably not Dollar Yen, because we've got the BOJ and we've got that uncertainty around yen. So that's what we'll do. So it'll just be majors here, and oh god, and that's it. So that's the difference between the two. Exactly the same principle. We're anticipating reversal after them getting stopped out or taking profit, and then we're just going to really reduce our risk by mitigating the damage to our account, and we're only going to be looking at major pairs, which is something I just decided just now, and I think it makes complete sense. We have an exotic pair, like say for example the United States dollar, the Mexican peso. It'll just be boom like that, okay, or potentially that, you know, that's the risk, isn't it? So could be huge profit or instant stop loss. So we'll just do majors only, and we're going to have a tight stop. And 2.2 is going to be a work in progress, where we're going to be looking at reducing or perhaps increasing, but ideally we want it nice and small, because we only want the 4 outcomes to the trade. It's a large win, medium win, small win, or a small loss. Okay, and this is obviously it's no good, because that it can incur a large loss, which is what we saw on Friday. So I'm not sure what to do for tomorrow. We'll probably wait for the London Open to see if Dixie does go into puke mode. If it does, we'll wipe the slate clean, and we'll start on this tomorrow, probably by New York. Okay, so that's just the update there. And I think this is a good idea as well. I think this is a really good idea, and we can also eliminate a lot of naughty currency pairs, like the Euro Kiwi, for example, can be a bit naughty. So that's the difference between the two, and then we'll see how we go next week. And I think we'll probably incur quite a lot of small losses, but we'll have to wait and see.